Hello everybody, let's welcome you to yet another session of IELTS training sessions. As you already know, my name is Naeem Haider and I have been teaching the IELTS program for a very long time. And today we are going to talk about one of the most difficult components of IELTS, which is the reading module. We have already done the listening module and now our focus would be on the reading module. As you all know that IELTS is one of the best and most widely used English proficiency test that measures your ability to understand written and spoken English, and also this test let you demonstrate your understanding or demonstrate your abilities by speaking and writing also. So today we are discussing reading, and reading is by far the toughest module of IELTS. And as we know, IELTS is being given by two types of people: those that are studying abroad and those who wish to migrate to an English speaking country. So those who migrate to a country sit for the general module of IELTS, and those who want to study in an English speaking country sit for the academic module. So we are going to talk about both of them. So let's see what we are going to discuss and what we have in store for today's class. Alright, I want you to be with me, concentrate and understand, though you have the liberty to replay this again, and of course, but the best thing is that let's do it together and see what we have to understand. Now, the content of today's class would be, we are going to talk about the general training module format. What do you expect to read in the general module? What type of questions? What is the format? Also, we are going to talk about the format of the academic module students. So those friends of mine who wish to give the IELTS academic module will have access to their that format also. And then of course, how to read, because you got to read a lot. And in order to read a lot, you need to devise a certain strategy, a certain pattern that can help you read well and understand better and answer questions. So we are talking about various reading strategies, which would be skimming, scanning, and then reading for details. At a little later stage, I'm going to talk about skimming, scanning, and reading for details with you, so that you are comfortable whenever you come across an IELTS test. Then, in order to read well, it is very important for you to understand how passages are laid out, how a paragraph is written. So if you know how a passage is laid out, if you know how a paragraph is written, you can adopt a lot of techniques and do things much quicker. So I'm going to tell you how is a passage layout and how is a paragraph laid out. And of course, we are going to adopt those techniques and do it with you here, so that you know how easy it could be when it comes to reading. And like we did listening questions, we have reading questions also, and there are 11 different type of questions that you will encounter in the reading module of IELTS, and I'm going to do each one with you so that I don't leave any room for you for an excuse. I want the highest score for those who are attending this program. So let's talk about it. First, the general module students. Now there are 3 sections in the general module, and in those 3 sections you have to attempt 40 questions. 3 sections and 40 questions. Section 1 has 14 questions, while section 2 and section 3 have 13 questions each. Now, what do you have in those sections? Now, section 1 may have 2 or 3 short texts, and those texts may be notices, advertisements, timetables, publicity material, or something that is similar to it. Advertisements, notices, timetables, they have got factual information given, so you have to read and understand that specific information that may answer your question. For the time being, I'm not telling you how to read. I'm just telling you what you may find in section 1 of the general module, not the academic, general module. So this is what in section 2, the texts that you are going to encounter would be taken from college prospectuses, course summaries. It could be taken from guide to libraries and rules and regulations or something similar. So you can see section 2, though the texts are small, but they are somewhat related to studies, course summaries, college prospectus and guide to library. And let's talk about the third section, which is of course very important because that is what you will be reading in the academic module also. So section 3 is going to be a passage, and this passage is going to be on a particular topic, and this passage will be taken from newspapers, magazines, journals. It could be fictional or non-fictional. It could be an extract from a book also. So the first 3 sections I have given you information. Now let's go back. First section may contain 2 to 3 short texts such as notices, advertisements, timetables, publicity materials and something similar. Section 2 could be a couple of texts that may be taken from college summaries, college prospectuses, course summaries, guide to libraries, rules and regulations and similar thing, something similar to that. And the last section would be a passage. The passage is going to be maybe from anywhere from 700 to 1000 words, but would be taken from newspapers, magazines, journals, books. It could be fictional, it could be non-fictional too. Okay, now this was a little brief introduction, and in the general module you are expected to read about 2400 words. So if my maths is not bad, that means that every minute you got to read 40 words. So if you just read with a pace of 40 words, you won't be able to do anything but just read for the whole 1 hour, because the IELTS test, reading test, is normally 1 hour's test. So if you just read, your 1 hour will be gone and you won't be able to do anything. So we'll have to adopt strategies, we'll have to do reading in such a manner that we not only read but we give 40 answers also.